All right. So that was week 4, right? Finally, now we're at the point, everything we've learned, it's time to articulate them and be able to deliver it to anyone from an interview perspective, right? It's not enough to learn stuff. If you cannot articulate it to me, honestly, it's just useless to me, right? You know it, but if you can't tell me what you do, then it's not useful to me, right? That's fair, it's fair point, right? So the next step for us is take it a step further and wrap your head around saying execution. How do I communicate this? And this is a skill. You need to practice it. So in a few minutes, you'll see me put us in a group. I beg you, right? Be engaged. This is not a game right now. It's serious stuff, right? You need to be able to articulate it and make mistake. It's okay. This is where you can fine tune your communication, the interaction process, and make the best out of it. So for like 30 minutes, then I'll get 2, 3 random people to just be on the spotlight. We'll just ask them some questions and see their thought process around those questions. Okay. But please be very engaged in the process. So let me share my screen so you see what we, and if you are not on our WhatsApp group, please join the group. Oh, sorry, the group is actually full. That's a good problem. I'll probably open a new group and we can always, we'll figure that out. It's a problem, but it's a good one. So that's okay. We're over 1,000 plus on that group. So, but we don't have space again. So we might have a second group to, and well, look out for the next internship coming up, I think January, I believe. It's going to be a blast, folks. Some of you gave feedback on what you want. So we're going to make sure we make it happen. And remember again, I know it's easy to just relax but always quest for knowledge and dig deep. Don't play games. Just dig deep, keep learning, get involved in all our programs. It's smart to do it. Don't shortchange yourself by thinking you're playing smart to just be wasting energy on getting smaller bits everywhere. Get into the habit of having depth, putting the work to expand your knowledge base. That's the only way you can grow. Okay. All right. Let me quickly share my screen so you guys can. I think you all have access to this document, but let me show you what we're going to do today. Straight to the point. Okay. Interview scenarios. So this is the background. And feel free. This is a document I want everybody to spend time on their own later. But let me quickly recap it so that you can see what it's all about. I just talked about, okay, this is a ever evolving landscape, healthcare. We can agree on that at the minimum, right? So because of that, we need to constantly safeguard critical infrastructure, critical healthcare, data, and security in general, right? To gain insight into this, we talked about risk assessment, mapping security framework, third-party risk, and eventually we talked about resolving incidents, right? So which is what I kind of put here. Scenario 1, I could ask you, walk me through a scenario when you did a risk assessment. What I want us to do is simulate this, in this case, you were responsible for risk assessment for a new health, electronic health record system. Okay. Um, why? Because it had access to sensitive information. What was my action? I identified the potential threats and vulnerabilities, and I assessed the impact and likelihood of those risks. What was the result? I identified several critical vulnerabilities and risks, and we implemented security measures to mitigate those risks. So that is one scenario, right? I want us to, as a team, once I put you in your group, take each scenario, put somebody on the spotlight and tell them, hey, you have access to this document. Let us do a mock interview for you. Everybody must talk. Let me tell you the biggest temptation, and it's a tragedy in my opinion. You'll be in a group like this and you want to sneak in and say, well, I just want to sit down and listen. Don't do that. Mm-mm. You've shortchanged yourself if you do that. You think it's smart? Oh, let them talk. I'll just listen. And no, 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 no. Don't do that. So what I want you to do, participate, make mistake. Even if you're on you're just on your bed, still grumpy, you don't need to show your video, right? Just talk. We don't know you, so don't care about anyone. Just talk. But the important thing is this: the more you get familiar with making those mistakes, I guarantee you one thing: By the time you do it again, you know, it would get better. Definitely, you know. But if you don't start it, you're wasting your time. You're thinking you're not smarter than the process. I guarantee you. You can make illusion in your mind and think, oh well, I'll learn it later. No, this is the best place to kind of get yourself practicing it, make mistake, and enjoy the moment. And we'll learn from each other. So after each person goes, I'll recommend everybody on the call give them feedback, you know, constructive feedback. Feedback might be um, try and stick with the flow, situation, task, action, result. I like that. Somebody said, fail fast. Yes. Just make mistake now, use us as a guinea pig so that when you get to a point of interview, mentally, these are key areas. Everybody on this call, I guarantee you, these four scenarios, all it, try. If you have this, honestly, I'm not kidding you. Any interview, if you have this four as a toolkit that you already have in your tool, I don't see any interview that you not feel you have four good stuff to go. Now they might ask other random question, but if this is four solid areas that anybody can identify with: risk assessment, building questionnaires, mapping framework, and finally incident resolution. Boom. If you can speak intelligent to those areas, I just don't know really. You're going to be in a good shape. I guarantee you that. So just get involved in it. Okay. All right. So I've said that. Let me see if I can attach the document. Somebody said they don't have access to the document. Unfortunately, I don't think I can on this. But if you are in the group, the WhatsApp group, you should be able to get it attached. Let me see if I can send the group link to you all. Make sure you join. Okay. If you don't have access to, okay, let me send something to, give me 1 second, people. If I can actually quickly do something real quick, I'll send you all the access to our YouTube, our channel. So in case of folks that don't have access to that, let me see if I can figure that out real quick. Everybody should join the channel because it's the easy way I can always send very, very cool stuff to us as a community. I know we've not pushed that a lot, but let me send it to the WhatsApp group. Then I will send it to you all here. Then we just quickly get started. All right, if you check the WhatsApp group, I sent a channel link. Let me copy that link now to the Facebook, to our page here. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Then we get started real quick. Everybody should just join that channel just in case in the future. All right, so I'm copying that channel here now. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I just copied it. So join it there. I can send stuff from there. All right, so what we're going to do today, everybody, please, the document I shared on the WhatsApp group, I want you to take it one by one and tell people, okay, I've given the cheat sheet. Just go through it one by one and make sure you have fun doing it. If this makes sense, give me a thumbs up, please. So let me repeat. We're having an interview session. Everybody is expected to have sent the document already. Just interview each other. The answers are there, really. But I just want you to get comfortable talking about it. That's all. And make mistake, it's okay. Don't stress it, okay? All right, I think it's good. So let me split us in our group real quick and make sure you just enjoy the session. Thank you, everybody. Let's do that in the next, we'll do it for like 25, 30 minutes. Today's goal is just to put it together, really. And this is the most important piece of everything you've done. I guarantee you that, people. Just make sure you're very involved in it. Okay. All right. Let's do that for the next. You're going to see 4 people in a group. Once I put you in a group, what will happen is that you will hear some silence. Immediately take ownership. Don't come back and say, "Oh well, nobody's talking in my group." Start the talking, and make it fun. All right. So let's do that in the next 25 minutes. All right. I'm going to create that right now. Thank you, everybody. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. So let me tell you what I think personally, right? So at the end of the day, uh, man, this is just amazing. Most of you may not notice I was floating around all the groups with my other teams just to kind of see how things are going. It's amazing what I heard a lot of you say, to be honest. Man, I challenge you, take this a step further. This is what most interviews will look like. Some of you have been part of our Lions Den community. You see that it's very similar in nature. And honestly, man, it's surreal what I hear some of you say. You know, it's almost unbelievable to say these guys have been, or ladies have been doing this maybe just a month or a few weeks or whatever. It's amazing. I mean, and this is it. You guys are loading solid stuff, really. Yes, I know once you're in a new environment, you learn the culture, the environment, their tools, and all that. But that's typical for everybody, including myself. If I go to a new environment, I'll have to learn the culture, the environment, the process. It's the same thing for all of us, right? But in terms of the substance, this is it. This is crazy stuff, man. I mean, a lot of you just kind of, oof. I mean, it's just amazing. And I like the fact that, a lot of people were just focused on the scenario, task, action, result to kind of make your thought process clear. That's the reason I use that. So I challenge you, keep pushing hard, keep putting the work, and good things always show up when we do that, folks. I was thinking I'll probably get one or two people to do interview, but I think we ran out of time. But the individual interview was excellent. Now we have one more class. Make sure you show up, bring other folks so that we can solidify the interview scenarios. And a few of you have asked me, hey, when is the next class? I saw a lot of text one-on-one. And within some groups, people were asking that same question. Yeah, the next program for our GRC is January 13th, next year, right? But the beautiful thing is this. So for some of you, those interview questions, you might be asked to dig deeper, right? The class will let you have that depth to say, okay, I can get deeper, right? That's the intent of the class. So be part of the program too to give you a much more robust thought process towards getting yourself ready. But these four scenarios, I'll tell you, um, some of you can go even apply for a job tomorrow, you know, but be smart about it. You need depth. You don't want to just go talk and lose many opportunities. So still kind of keep adding layers of knowledge and value to yourself. There's no shortcut to that, right? But I think this is a good, amazing start. But let me take just to make sure. Can somebody just volunteer? Just one person. One person. Can somebody volunteer? Let me just put them on the spot for one question or two. Who wants to volunteer? Let's see. The first person I see them raise up their hands, I would just go. Oh, somebody said Ernest. All right, I'll go with Ernest. All right, Ernest, can you raise your okay? Oh, you guys are putting me on the spot. Otoba Ernest. Okay. All right. Oh man, look at everybody. Oh, I love you guys. Okay, I have more volunteer than I need. You guys are yeah, giving me good problem. Okay, let's do something. Um uh, all right. So I think okay, you know what? Okay, let me just randomly take Otumba. Hey Otumba, let me just ask you one question. Just walk me through one of the questions. So let's say, can you walk me through how you do a risk assessment?
Wow. Thank you. In conducting a risk assessment, it's a process where we actually need to identify the critical assets of the
Yeah,
organization first, the criticality of those assets. And the next step is to identify the threats and vulnerabilities to these assets.
yeah,
And the next step again is try to see the likelihood of the threats exploiting the vulnerabilities, and these are your risk. And after noting the risk, we actually select controls, the mitigation, how we're gonna mitigate this risk, and
yeah.
you can either transfer the risk, uh, avoid the risk, accept the risk, depending on which mitigation strategy that you want to adopt. Then
Yes.
you select controls to mitigate the risk, and you put in processes in place to continue to monitor these controls to ensure that they continue to be effective.
Got it. Thank you so much, Otumba. Very well done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Otumba. That was great. So this is going to be the style. Remember, again, at the end of the day, the goal is job, right? We're not wasting our time. So all our knowledge base, how do you articulate it to get a job? A few of you have said there are other things in cyber. Yes, that's why it's smart to just keep adding layer of knowledge. Don't get cocky or think you're smarter than the process and say, well, I'll just learn this small thing because it's, oh, well, it's a free internship. I just learned this. You think you're smart, you're not really most times, because what will happen is that it's going to take you longer, longer, because you're learning things in small silos, right? And over time, your body of work will not add up to give you that confidence. So it's smart to just go all in, keep learning knowledge. And because money, time is money, right? So you're wasting time and you're leaving money on the table. So if it should have taken you 2 months to potentially get an opportunity, you're pushing it to 7, 8 months. And but think strategically and say, I need the knowledge base now because it will shorten my time to execute long term. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you Wednesday. We'll do the same thing next week, Wednesday. Okay, I think interview is so important. And for my folks joining the Risk Rhino class, excited to have you in the next few minutes. And keep holding forth. Folks, the document I sent, print it out for yourself and have fun with it. God bless. Enjoy the weekend. Bye, everybody.